That's right. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I am Mia Voss, and you're watching the Mia Connect Power Chat. I'm having fun with my Google Toolbox, my Hangout Toolbox, the effects. I'm going to not keep these on all the time, but I thought it went well with the tiara and also goes with the kooky theme we've got going on today, which quite frankly is interesting characters. I've got 3 of them. You've probably seen a couple of them around on the internet, so it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Now you can see me. So we're going to get started here. First, I want to thank our show sponsor, which is steadydemand.com. If you are looking to figure out how to go through your Google Analytics, post the right stuff, maybe get a little shamed if you don't post it right because they're going to tell you, go to steadydemand.com/tool. Everybody drink, because when I say tool, you drink. If anybody's watched my show before, everybody drink. You ready? Me and my juice and my back crap crazy wine glass. And thank you to Bethan and her team for getting that for me. So if you'd like to get some really great Google Analytics, go to steadydemand.com/tool. And with that, I'm going to pull in, before I introduce my panel, I'm going to pull in some comments because we've got a lot of them fixing to go right up in here. So, hi, Stephen Futural. I love him. Watching on his iPhone, better pull over first. And also, he's actually gotten in trouble for watching shows and not hanging up his phone. So, try not to get kicked out of court there. Hi, Kim Boltman. She's being old enough to remember or witness the evolution of the Rat Pack and the Brat Pack. She loves the concept of the Bat Pack, fun, forward thinking. And just so you guys know, this was part of Mark Traphagen last week. He called it the Bat Cave. So everybody who's out in the audience, you are now officially sitting in the Bat Cave. I hope you're enjoying one another. And for the in the audience, you are the Bat Pack. So welcome to the show, everybody. We're excited. We've also got Jake Luke. Hey, brother, it's going to be bat crap crazy. Yes, it is. And David Leopold. The only things that keeps him away from my HOA production is personal time conflict that can be resolved favorably. Michael Mason, what's the reach, by the way? The Mia and Christine's New Year's Day show had a documented reach of just about 30 million. Holla! That's their new toy, by the way. Get used to it. Lori and I are going to be checking that out on, aren't we, Lori?
Yes.
For our shows. I'm digging that too. So with that, I'm going to talk and introduce, because I've got you blue box, I've got my girl, Lori LeJour, who, by the way, is going to be an HOA ho today. Are you not, darling? How many shows are you going to be on today?
I'm on your show, I'm on Chef's show, and then I have my own at 4. So
yes, you do. I'm going to give this to you.
Ready now.
All right, so tell us who you are real quickly and where you're out of, darling.
I own a company called Customized Walls. We make custom printed murals and wallpaper. And then I started a community on Google Plus about a year and a half ago for interior design business people. So we all talk about the cool tips and tricks to market your business online.
You guys, and she is a groundbreaker for sure. She was here. What did I say in the trailer? Long before I got here. So we're gonna pick her brain on getting communities to work and niching down, because you came in, Lori, and who's gonna follow interior design, right?
Yeah.
And made it a huge success. So, and where are you out of, sweetheart?
I'm in New Hampshire. So
yay.
Cold.
Yay. Still. Over it. Right?
Yes.
Hated it. All right, dear. Thank you for coming on the show. We're going to get back to you in a second. And then I've got my brother, Mark Ensign. Hello, dear.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. And for those of you, I don't know if you heard my description, I put this in the show with David and Christine. I said, Mark Ensign is me with dark hair and boy parts. Because I love your sense of humor. So tell us about you real quick, what you do and where you're out of.
Not my boy part. You don't need to hear about my boy parts, right?
No, but I know we're going to be using another word that's going to be similar to that. So get ready for it, people. There might be earmuffs for some of the kids in the audience.
Look at that. I got a reputation already.
You do. Well, join me in that.
Let's see. My name is Mark Ensign, and I have a blog, markensign.com. And let's see. I'm a blogger, speaker, author, kind of all-around do-gooder, and I started out in internet marketing with a website and SEO company that's been around for about 13 years, and that's about it.
That's not about it, but I like it.
Well, she kept it pretty short. I don't want to talk your face off for the next 10 minutes.
Nope. I'm getting the crowd warmed up for you. I'm like, that's not it. We're going to get into it. And finally, we have the fabulous and mighty. Somebody described you that as the other day, and I was like, I like that a lot. It was pretty good. I can't remember. It might be the gal that you went on her show.
Deneen.
Julie Deneen, yes. And hey, Julie, let's give her a little shout out. She and her husband. Hey, girl. So welcome to the show. I'm going to give you a trumpet. You like that? Miss Sandra Sellen, tell us what you do and where you're out of.
Okay, I'm out of sunny California. I hate to tell you. It's
Rub it in.
really bright outside, really sunny. I think it's going to be 86 this weekend. I know. But we really would like some rain. But, so what would you call it? I'm an artist, famous artist turned blogger. Thinking, well, we'll get into the details.
Yeah.
And now I'm also an OG. I just discovered that.
What's an OG?
Wait a second. I'm going to show you.
It's a rap thing, isn't it?
No.
That looks like it.
I'm a West Side OG. It means I'm an original gangsta.
That is a rap thing. You called it, Mark.
All right. Yeah.
I love it.
That really needs to be screenshotted. We have Irene Brody, by the way, who's in the back room being the woman, and she's going to make that into a little clip for sure. Who told you that? I love that. That's spicy.
Well, here I'm going to get my hair cut in Beverly Hills. Now, one would think it's not a foofy kind of place, but it's a cool kind of place. And I walk in there, I'm getting my hair cut, and I said, does anybody know what a gangsta is? Everybody turns around. They all know. They all give me the sign, and saying, you're not just a gangsta, you're an original gangsta. And they gave me words. You'll hear it. I'm now an OG, guys.
Oh my God, I did not expect that one.
Both hands.
Right.
But it's like, I can't. But I try. And this means I'm from the West Side.
Girl, I love it. I'm going to stop the show right now. Who's going to top that, you guys?
I'm not.
Oh my God, that is fabulous. And is that some of your artwork in the back, sweetie?
No.
That beautiful picture, because that is fabulous, though.
Oh, I'm trying to see. No, that is a fabulous print by Jan van Huysum. He's an early Netherlandish artist. We were going to get my paintings. We don't have it all together. I just got a lot of bandwidth. I got a new modem to handle the new bandwidth. Mm-hmm. So we're still working on it.
Listen, honey, it takes a village.
No kidding.
That's what I say about getting ready. It takes like levers and pulleys and little men in the background doing stuff. So
and then I try to explain it to my friends. But do you think my friends know what more bandwidth means, or that getting the new modem, or that you have to get the earphones and the stuff?
They all think you've gone to the dark side, don't they?
Yeah, nobody's seen me in weeks.
I bet. And guys, is that not? Let's just tell Sandra, I'd like to get used to it with being part of Google Plus, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And with that, actually, I'm going to jump in because I was keeping everybody on their toes in the green room and Sandra, what did you say? You're like, that builds the momentum. I didn't, the build attention, that's right. I wasn't going to tell them who's going to come on first, but I think I'm going to choose Lori because, honey, you are one of the first to market here on Google Plus, so you can fill in Sandra about how she's going to have to go for a intervention, an intervention of like, get off the computer, honey.
That's my husband.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Could I please see something other than your head bent down over a computer?
Busted. I
well,
know it.
The problem is now you can take it everywhere, right? So you've got it on your phone, your tablet, your computer.
Mr. Jingles up in your face.
24/7.
Exactly. Jinx. That's an old school. Can I just tell everybody out there in the audience, we had two things that we've decided. Now there's two things we want to dust off. One is 2 for flinching, for those of you who don't remember. 2 for flinching is when you come up and you do this, and then somebody flinches, and then you get to hit them twice. Let's dust that off in all kinds of different arenas. And then I think what I just say, Jinx. We need to bring Jinx back as well. So.
Oh yeah, love
Can you
Jinx.
say something? Yeah.
Jinx is already rampant in my house. Are you kidding me?
We do it in our house too.
Wait, you guys have young kids. What am I saying?
Right.
I don't know what it means.
You guys tell her what Jinx means.
You mean you jinx somebody?
Yeah, it's when you both say something at the same time, and then you say Jinx, and then you say like Jinx, you owe me a Coke or something like that.
Exactly. Okay. There's always little things to it. It can be colloquial. It depends on or where you're from, but I'd say Jinx, owe me a Coke was the biggest one too. So.
No,
right, and then they can't until you say their name. right? Do you do that? Like they can't speak until you say their name?
That's the thing. That's
what we love.
You just have to quiet. My daughter hasn't talked for 3.5 months.
She carries a sign around her neck.
Please, somebody
Say
tell
my
my
name.
Is she the youngest?
No, she's the older.
Oh no! So she just gets. There's always that weak one in the pack.
She's actually the middle child, if you include me.
Oh, gotcha, right. Yeah.
My wife is a single mother of 3.
Right. One of them, I'll tell you what, 6 foot something. One's about 6 foot 9. So
exactly.
I love it. Oh yeah, dusting off jinx for me because Bob Voss, I don't meow at the same time that Bob does, so we don't have that as much. But all right, listen, Lori, enough about us. Let's talk about you, girlfriend. I watched the David Oldenburg. Or David Leopold, darling, sorry, there's so many good Davids in my life. The Dreaming with Entrepreneurs show, that was really fun to see kind of what your backstory is. And you and I love that we have that similar of being in sort of what could be the male-dominated industry. And then you came into Google Plus definitely when it was kind of vagina-free, right?
Yeah, it was, and when you first came on as a woman, like you were getting like instant message like crazy from creepers 24/7.
You said that. Yeah, you said that, right? Yeah.
Hey, girl. Actor.
Why do I feel like one of those creepers right now? There's like way too much estrogen in the room.
Which, and you do know that that's the one thing that says, oh, you just circled them, say hey. And so I kept thinking, like, why does everybody say hey? It's like, hey, girl. Like, oh, God. What? Right?
It's
so
those private messages and the automatic, trying to get you into a hangout and you don't even know the person.
Right. Right. And if you're not used to Google Plus, didn't that freak you out?
Oh, absolutely. Because when you first come on, you don't understand that they can't actually see you, or you can't touch something and accidentally go online and you're now talking to some stranger from across the world. Yeah.
Right. Now, and the great thing, right, is that you can do that and you can be like, oh my gosh, I saw, right?
Yeah. But, it took a while to get when you first come on, you get bombarded by certain. I think it may even happen now. It hasn't happened for me in a while, but you get bombarded by those types of people first. They're like the first people who come over and chat with you, and so it's really kind of a scary, intimidating thing. And if you can start to like block the spammers and then really create a stream you like.
That's the key, right?
That's the key, right? Like following all the people that you really want to see their stuff. And that's kind of one of the reasons why we have, for the interior design community, an elite circle, so that I can share it, and then people can, just grab it, and then they're automatically seeing awesome home stuff. Really high design, cool, architectural stuff, like really neat stuff.
So it's almost like the difference between going to like a networking event where you're just going to be open and unless you choose it to be industry specific. So that's the regular stream when you have that. And then you can get in with your besties, right?
Yeah.
And have that group of people that are truly vested in what you do. Talk about a time saver too.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we were talking about that the other day, that you can have these like networking groups locally.
Yes.
And you have to drive and you have to get in your car and you go there.
You got to put a face on this thing.
And then when you get there, especially if you're like us, where we might have like something more to give, they're selling floral arrangements, or they're doing, pizza shops, and you're like that one person that does social media, so everybody wants something from you.
Right.
Like intellectual property, right?
It is.
And so, but you're not really going to get any business from them. I mean, they're not designers, so why I wouldn't. I mean, they might know somebody who knows somebody who might buy a custom mural,
But that's always that balance, right? Where you're like, okay, you can maybe know, but we can talk about that for a second. I know we've always had that dreaded conversation of, let me take you to coffee, death by coffee, I call it. Let me pick your brain. That kind of thing is. It's really tough, especially when you have something that's offered to people. How do you handle that? Because I know you're very open with a lot of your information. So I think you've got a good balance though of putting out enough info.
You put out the info, and then I came up with resources. So I don't do one of the things I write about. I don't necessarily do that professionally, which actually helps me. So that when I come to when someone comes back and says, oh, you wrote this great post for Williams-Sonoma about Google Local, Now, how do I set that up for myself? I say, well, people that will do that for you, because I don't do that, and I don't want to do that. So,
are you real gracious about it? Because sometimes I'm not, but
I'm pretty nice. I'll push them to the right person, and then hopefully that gets business for that person, which is good. But I can't spend an hour with them telling them how to set it up.
Right. I'll say this. Sometimes I'm probably ungracious in my head. I'm like, what the and then I know. Say something,
Yes.
Like, no, because we've all been there,
Remind me not to ask either one of you anything ever again.
We'll just bust your chops a little bit, and then we'll give it to you. Yeah, like you need to ask us anything. Come on, smarty pants. Right. Whatever. Keep walking. No, I'm kidding. But no, Lori, I love that. That's when I've been following you for a while, but I realized that you would come into one of our Google, the Hangout, I think it's for our Hangout group, and offered this great information. I'm like, look at this girl. She got it all going on. So I really like how you've managed that. But it sounds like you've also you have 11 people that are in with you on your design community, right?
Yeah, you can have moderators, which is always the great thing. And then instead of just having, random people, we chose to have people who have specific knowledge and are already industry experts. So we have a kitchen and bath designer, Susan Sarah. We have a social media, but she works specifically in the home decor space, Leslie Carruthers, and down the line we've got people who are experts in their little section, but they also can give like great information and post great content. And it overlaps here and there, but it's not. They're all doing very different things.
Mark, that's got to appeal to you, brother, because I was watching you again on David and Christine's show about niching down. That this has got to and look at Lori's done it with just surrounding herself with people. That's exactly what they do.
Right.
Like that. That's good stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's so important if you. What happens if you try to appease everybody all the time? You end up sitting in the middle of the fence, and sitting in the middle of the fence does not feel so good. So you can't like live on you don't have an opinion because you're trying to make everybody happy. I mean, I know I know who my blog is for and who I write for, and I'm an acquired taste. Like, I am not for everybody, and I'm totally okay with that. And same thing with the new book. I've gotten hammered from a bunch of people that not everybody's going to buy the book because of the name. And that's exactly what I want, because you have to piss off some people, because if you're not pissing people off, you're playing too safe.
I like that too, Lori. Did you feel like you had that too? Like you had to just kind of alienate? And we'll get to the title of that book. Don't you worry about it. I'm excited about it. But how did you feel you managed that too? Because you did come in with an industry that they were probably like, Google what? Because you even felt that when you came on Google Plus, right?
I had a sort of a different strategy. I had already had built up networks on other social media platforms. So
you were already rocking in the free world long before you got to Google Plus.
So I wanted to bring them to Google Plus because I figured it was like a really great platform to get to know people on a deeper level. Like, you can only get to know people just so much on Twitter, really. I mean,
it's 140 characters. I know, Jinx.
Yeah. Exactly, Jinx.
Oh, you Coke. I'll drink.
And on top of that, you have like at this person, at that person, at this person, at that person. Good morning. Okay, and then you're like at this person, hi. It goes back and forth like all day long. So what
I love. I'm going to jump in. Is when do you stop retweeting? Like, I always wonder, like, what's the retweet game? Like, do I retweet the retweet?
Yeah.
Retweet, like, when do you stop? I don't know. Sometimes I do that. I'm like, I know. I'm just like, all right, I'm done. Hey, I'm going to pull up a quick comment about you. 1 second. This is from Tara Natasha, designer. Lori is very nice. I like the way she makes all of her followers feel special.
Oh,
that's fancy. Right there. So,
well, they're awesome.
That feel fancy.
Awesome. We all, the group that we have, the members that we have, we're always thinking about what is going to make their life better. So, we try to do fun stuff. Like, sometimes we've done giveaways, and sometimes we have a Pinterest board, a group Pinterest board. We have the Elite Circle Share. We have Brag About Your Blog Tuesday. It's
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Well, and think about that for interior design. Could that not be better fitting for Pinterest boards? I mean, that's all shiny.
Oh.
Like I saw. Oh, let's talk about that video that you collaborated with why did I just forget her name? Susan
Sarah.
It was Susan Sarah. I was like, Sandra Salad. No, Susan Sarah. That's all my S ladies. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. That was such a beautiful, luscious, sexy number. And then you had your
talented. Yeah, she's amazing, and she creates her style of design is primarily Scandinavian, and so she did a kitchen for American standard. They have a new luxury line coming out. And so she partnered with them and with this whole group of designers who did these full installations that were just for photographs, which is, that's amazing. And the videos are like eye candy. I mean, just total eye candy.
I think whether you're an interiors person or not, if you just like homes, if you like just kitchens,
design at all, you're going to be like, wow. And every single one of the designers that worked on that, they all were really fantastic. And she happened to include one of our murals, which was really awesome. Not gonna lie, we were like, wow, because we usually send these out, and if we get a picture back, half the time you can't use it because it's not professional enough.
Sure.
And our market, we tend to sell a lot in New York and California and Texas, so we're in New Hampshire, so going there to get the professional photographs is harder. So we cherish the the pieces that come out that are like press, that are really professionally done.
So you've got the interior design community, and then the other piece that you have is the design that's behind you, which, by the way, looks exactly like Ronnie Benser's. I like how you copied him.
I know, right?
But so this is the joke, is that somebody, what did they say? Somebody said you.
Yeah, someone. I came into a hangout and they said, "Oh, I know where you got that idea," and I was like, "No, it was my idea."
And I made it for him.
I'm quiet about it. I don't just say like, "Oh, by the way, I did his everywhere." I wanted him to be. I had this idea. We do the murals anyway, but I had, as I started doing hangouts, I thought, what a great way to like have some branding in the hangout is to have these backdrops for you. So we sort of talked about it as something that we could do, and he wanted, the way his setup was different than mine, so we just sort of did it. But normally we like them to be this like one sheet that goes on the wall, and it peels off, and you can re-stick it, this special material. So.
I cannot wait, by the way. So mine is on the way. Mine is in the mail. So everybody knows. And I'm going to tell you what it's going to look like when it shows up. And I'm going to be like Carol Merrill in Price is Right. I'm going to be just doing the whole thing. Bob Voss is probably going to sit up on it and showcase himself. So y'all get ready for it, because it's going to be here, by the 18th?
I think it is 18th, yeah. So
the baby hand waving thing. So that's the cool thing, you guys, which I have to give a shout out to Craig Chamberlain, who you're going to be on with him.
Yes.
Please give him a virtual fist bump for me, because I love that guy. But he actually gave me the idea. So before I got cool with what's coming, this is from Craig Chamberlain. This is a $14.99 Walmart sheet that I have nailed very, very tightly to the wall. FY Izzo. So for those of you who haven't gotten your backdrop, you can do a little Walmart sheet, and that's a fist bump to him. So you can get creative. But I love that. And who's the other people that you've done that for, honey? Because I've seen it around.
I did Martin Shervington. I did
the Sherv.
Stefan's. So and
which looks good.
I forget his name. The guy who does that host that has Pick Monkey as his sponsor.
Oh, Wade Harmon.
Yes, I did it.
Yes, you're
checking out. Advertising them because we want to create like a whole landing page and we're redeveloping our site. But I will do them. I think they're neat. I think I like doing them. I think they're fun.
And with that, I'll tell you, that's the theme I see going through all my panelists is that everybody is doing what they love. And I love, you're finding it like, we got to kind of, dig through the different things to figure it out, but you've got the community, you've got everybody coming in there, and I want to go back to that community real quick, and then we're going to segue to our next one, because you have figured out what you love, and then you've just brought it to everybody, and then, again, outsourced it with your group of people, so everybody's in their highest and best use of their time and what they love, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of strange because... a lot of people have said to me, you're doing the interior design community, you're doing customized walls. Are you afraid by doing interior design community that you're losing focus on customized walls? But it really, it works together in my my long-term plan, my strategic plan for my business. It really works together. The relationships I build for interior design community help customize walls. I mean, we've gotten published many times because of relationships I built through interior design community. We have gotten clients because of interior design community, the work I've done for interior design community. So it goes together, even though, you know, on one hand I'm talking about custom murals and wallpaper, and on the other hand I'm talking about how, you know, the best new, you know, WordPress themes for your interior design blog. I mean,
it works. So it works because you're also giving tools to people to build their business. You're talking about the business itself and then giving the tools. You said something in one of the interviews too that I love. This you've created something that's win-win instead of give.
Yes.
Sorry, let's all sit on that for a second. Sit and stew on that one. I mean, I love it, and I know you've also been featured. Oh gosh, like you're going to be in something on Food Network. Is that right?
Yes, we're doing we did 2 shows for Food Network. It's how I save my bakery with my Fix It Up Life. They're on Google Plus, and they're using our product. And then Kelly Ellis, she's doing a Hulu show. We're gonna have our wallpaper on in almost every room she has in that show.
Gotcha.
And then we're going to be in Country Living later on in the fall, I think. We did the shoot a while ago, but I think it's coming out in the fall. And we keep getting some of these really great opportunities because of Google Plus, really, because of the work I do here.
Preach it, and everybody drink their Google Plus Kool-Aid right now.
Yes.
It's good stuff. No, honey, I appreciate that, and I think you have that's been the impetus for it. So we are going to turn it over. Lori, thank you so much, and everybody. Lori's going to post her links, and then, honey, will you post a video too, so we can pimp out Susan as well. That'll be awesome. So I'm going to segue over to our next guest, but first I'm going to pull up a couple quick comments. I guess we were right. Scott Schoolcraft says, Jinx, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You owe me a Coke. Elaine says, as kids we used to say, pinch poke, you owe me a Coke. I like that one too. And then we're going to introduce now. You're going to know who's coming up next. My brother Mark, get ready. My girl Lynn, whom I love more than sliced bread, says, Mark, I love that. I'm an acquired taste. So true about me as well. I get it, and it's so cool. She's you get ready for more girl business crushes, because that's what I said when you were on the show. Is who's got a big crush? I'm Mark Ensign. Raise your hand. Everybody raise their hand.
Wow, no pressure here.
Yeah, exactly. You better be.
I think I'm just gonna leave now.
Press the mic down and leaves the stage. That's it. I can't top that. Kim Boltman also loved that. Sometimes you have to piss people off. Love that. As long as you're not one of them at the end of the day, it's a good day. Follow your heart. Amen. And I'm going to segue too, because Lori, what you just said about, you know, staying, you do kind of have to pick your message, right? And get that out. And it could be 2 different things, because I'm in the same thing. But Mark, let's talk about you, and
Sure.
I know that's your message, and it's all you, brother.
All right. Well, what do you want me to just rattle on for a little while?
You know what? I want you to talk about sushi and donuts. I want you to talk about being a dick. I want you to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
All right.
And please follow that up so I don't sound like I said something really.
No, we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to move on.
Yeah, and leave me with it.
I'm highly offended.
And you're gonna hang up on me.
Well, I said it, joking not too long ago, probably about 6 months ago, that my mission, I had to come up with a mission. Like, I felt like, all the business coaches tell you come up with a mission statement, something big, something you can aspire to and live into, and all this other kind of stuff. And so I decided that my mission was to save the internet. And and it was a joke. It wasn't a joke, but it was a joke. And so I started with this idea that I was, my mission was to save the internet, because there's so much nonsense going on at the time. Everybody's a guru and a rock star and a ninja and all this other nonsense. So I decided, and I apologize if any ninjas out there. I'm not ninja.
Just look out. There might be a foot upside your head later on today.
Right.
So.
All right. I'm sure there will be. And that's kind of how it started. And you know, we talk about niche and all this other kind of stuff, and as ridiculous and as absurd as it sounds, that kind of became my niche. Like reaching out, helping people, working, trying to help people figure things out, and with this whole idea that I was going to somehow save the internet doing it, And so I recently moved to Tampa from New Jersey, I guess about 8 or 9 months ago, and we literally threw a dart at a map and ended up here. This was not like we. I wish I could say there was some big grand scheme, No, we just decided we wanted to move and we wanted to be by the beach, and we ended up here.
Can I tell you, I've made important decisions doing rock, paper, scissors, just so you know. So
all right, exactly.
It's in the same vein, darling. So
exactly. So we end up here, and 1,200 miles away. We don't know anybody, and I'm chief procrastinator of the family. So looking around the house, full of boxes everywhere. So I do what any decent person would do. I abandon my wife, and I grab the kids and leave the boxes up to her, and we go for a walk. And I run into this guy down the street, and he introduces himself, and he's just so nice, and is so helpful, and he's not only just giving us garbage day is Monday and Thursday, but he gave us like a spreadsheet. He emailed me a spreadsheet. Who has a spreadsheet of their favorite vendors and landscapers around town? But he had all this great stuff, and he sent it out to me, and really just the sweetest guy to my kids. He's bent down talking to my kids eye to eye. Tell me about what are you hoping to, let me point out all the houses that have other kids your age, and just really making them feel welcome. And I walked away, and as I'm walking away, he goes, one more thing. I know you're going to need there's the ceilings are much higher in here than they are in New Jersey. You're going to need a ladder to hang some of those some pictures of those beautiful kids of yours. And when you do, I have 2, so let me know.
By the way, I'm watching Sandra's face. She totally has a crush on you now too. I was just looking at it. I love that.
So it was just such an incredible thing, and his name was Dick, and this is a true story, and that's really his name, and this isn't like a whole marketing thing, but it's this guy named Dick lives down the street, and beautiful guy. Next day, I run into his wife. And his wife is, you should come by my house, and I'd love to have you and your wife over. I know it's very intimidating. You got this house now, and and also everything's in boxes. Let me show you. I'd love to show you. We hired a decorator, and I'd love to show you some of the things that we did. Because we got in the topic of, I don't know what to do with the space. And so now me and my wife suck at decorating. She won't admit it, but I'll admit it. We are.
I was waiting to see if you're going to out your wife again, because I've heard you do that before.
She's just she's the worst. She really is the worst. I mean, she won't.
She needs to visit Lori's community, huh?
She would destroy the community. She would like.
She'd be like Godzilla.
It'd just be a cancer it would be a cancer in the whole community. I wouldn't do that to you. So we show up at their house, and we're walking through the guy's house, and they're giving us the tour of the closet and the bath. I mean, he's showing me his underwear drawer and everything in between, and in the living room he's got over a dozen Emmys on a shelf.
Crazy.
And I asked him, you don't have a dozen Emmys by accident, just trip and fall on a couple of Emmys. And so I asked him what they were for, and he was just it's just a little something I do. And it was he was very humble about it. And so these kind of episodes kept going. Like he called me up one day, and he's like, are you going to be home? So I was like, yeah, sure. So I'll be right over. So he comes over, and it was my birthday. Actually, I think it was the day after my birthday. And he's like, I saw it was your birthday, and I have a little something for you. And he hands me a Ziploc bag, and in the Ziploc bag is a baseball, and on the baseball are a bunch of signatures. And I was like, what? And he's like, well, I saw you walking around the block a couple weeks ago with a Red Sox hat on, so I have a bunch of friends, and so I got everybody I could find on the Red Sox to sign it for you.
Shut it.
I'm moving next door to you.
So,
we're coming to live next.
Where do you live?
Here it is right here.
Oh, stop.
So
you got rid of the plastic bag, huh?
So I got rid of the plastic bag. I was like, yeah, cheap ass, you couldn't even give me a box.
Can you put it in a nice bag or hermetically sealed box?
Seriously, no. So
oh my
and it's just that's just the kind of guy he was, and so I'm trying to figure things out. I'm trying to find my niche, and this whole joke of saving the internet floating over my head, and I'm out for a bike ride, and I decided I'm not coming back until I figure it out. And so after about 2 hours, my ass was killing me. So I came home and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna figure out today. Figure out another
Now
day.
you guys see why I think why I love a sense of humor, because that's something I would say.
So and I passed by Dick's house, and I remember like distinctly thinking you know what? From now on, I'm going to be a dick to everybody I meet online, and like treat everybody the way he treated me. Like just be that guy that's just so extraordinary and like tries to help out and tries to have fun, just transparent, and all this other kind of stuff. And let me see what happens.
Yeah.
And because I found myself always like going out I was like a kid. Like I would go out and take the dog out for a walk. Ooh, I hope Dick will be, is walking his dog so I can run into him.
That's like your that's the crush we're talking about. Like you just truly enjoy somebody. You're like, what are they gonna say? When am I gonna see them? When are they gonna comment? When are they gonna like? Right?
And it was this really weird. And my wife and I, of course, were having just a blast about it. Like, because we're sitting around, she's just like, what's going on? Like I'd be thinking, I'm just thinking about Dick. And I mean, no, like the guy next door, and it just became like this big joke. And then I started writing about it, and I decided that I was like, I want to write some of these things down. And I started writing some of these things down, and little by little, it started turning into this book. And it's funny because it's a book that the only reason I'm writing it is because I need to read it. And it's a really cool thing. And it's very similar to what I do with my blog. Like half the reason that my blog is just my journal. It's just that I got tired of writing in a journal. I write online, so this way other people tell me that I'm on the right or wrong path. But I so write for myself, and so this book, like nobody's written this book yet. So if nobody's going to do it, then I have to do it because I need to read this book. And it's a very strange way to come at this thing, and it's just been such a great experience.
Now this is not your first book, though.
No, I have a couple other books. I have an ebook, and I have a couple of music. In my former life, I was a professional musician.
That's
so
right.
I have a bunch of.
What was it? Trumpet?
No. I started out in third grade playing trombone, but like
trombone.
Thanks for bringing.
I thought it was a TR word. Yeah. Oh, that story by the way.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up, making me feel bad. No, I used to play bass for a show on Broadway. And so I did that for about 10 years, and then eventually
weren't you in Rent?
Yes. Yeah.
And what did you do?
I used to play bass in the band.
Oh, I love that show, and I love the music.
Oh, thanks. Well, I didn't write it, but I played it a lot.
I know, but you played it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and who else in the audience or here can say, yeah, me too.
Right.
Because that's impressive. Yeah, you've got such a diverse background. I love how you've parlayed that message, though, of like what happened into your sense of humor. Can I out myself that I got to read the pre-book?
Sure.
So Mark posts in the community about looking for editors or somebody, just kind of, somebody to help with the book. And I was like, listen, I'm a crappy writer, but I'm a great reader. So why don't you send that my way? But then I also had to say, don't expect any kind of criticism because I love everything you write. And I was like, I was cracking myself. It was very well written. I can't wait to see how you take this message of what the initial story is about that paradigm shift. Was that also because you were coming from Jersey or coming from kind of the East Coast and you felt like you were kind of coming to a kinder, gentler space? And you felt a little jaded?
So. I think so because, well, I don't know if I felt jaded. I was just, it was a very, it's just a very strange thing. It was very fast-paced where I was, and I came here, and I was laughing because I walked into Home Depot on the second day we were here, and everybody's saying hi to me, and I'm like, I'm checking my shoes, I'm looking at my back, like something's wrong, and I'm just not used to that, But by the time I left there, I was like, playing Mayor's wife. I'm like, hey, everybody! I'm saying to my hugging
and your wife's all annoyed, right?
It just was really weird.
Isn't it funny?
It's just and so I run into this guy that I guess had I lived here, I wouldn't have thought too much about it, and I mean, because he wasn't just a nice guy like that. Just to be clear, it wasn't like a guy who's just like, I was trying to help out. Like he has just always gone above and beyond. Anybody that sees you in a Red Sox hat and then runs around trying to get people to sign a baseball is absurdly kind and thoughtful and just just a really, really good person. To be that aware of somebody else's life and even now, like I'll talk to him and I'll talk his face off, and he'll just sit there and he'll listen. But he's not just hearing; he's actually listening.
Right.
And he doesn't wait for that pause in the conversation to turn it around himself. And it's just a very it's a very cool thing to you know, kind of connect with somebody like that. And so that's when I grow up, that's what I want to be. So
yeah, I'm with you. I think we all do. And you know, it's cool though. Like you said, you were sort of searching, like, you know, that came to you of like saving the internet, and that was probably getting on people's nerves, or like, who do you think you are, right? And you're like, but I know, right? Yeah, not me, but I know it. Yeah, no, I thought it was awesome. I'm just used to pissing people off too. I'm just relating to you because it happens to me. But I love it how all of a sudden the message of it came up, or the way to translate into, like, you meet this guy that just kind of rocks your world. And you know, I'd love to hear what, have you ever gotten his background too, of kind of what makes him tick?
Well,
what makes Dick tick?
What makes Dick tick? And that's the funny thing. Like, a lot of people thought it wasn't really true, but it really is true. The guy's name really is Dick. It just worked out so perfectly that he falls into my third grade sense of humor. So like, it was just
yeah,
a
you do
fit.
too.
But he not like he's just a nice guy. I wrote some stuff about it. I wrote a blog post about it originally, and it just that really took off and really connected with a lot of people. And it had gotten to the point where I was like, I better send it to him and tell him, like, hey, you know,
I'm talking about you.
It's gonna sound really weird. I've only known you for about 3 or 4 weeks, but check this out.
Yeah.
And it was a really cool response. He had said, he's like, wow, you know, he's like, not many people call me Dick anymore. My wife does, I do, and a bunch of other people, but everybody else has a nickname for him that he was given as a kid. And the reason why he's like, you can only imagine growing up as a kid with the name Dick. I've been at the butt of a lot of, no pun intended, butt of a lot jokes, and that wasn't on purpose, by the way.
No, but it was good.
So he's like, you know, he's like, I'm really flattered that you wrote this, and in a way, you kind of gave me my name back a little bit. Like, you made me feel like you know, I brought that back. It wasn't a negative thing anymore, and that's really cool. I mean, that wow, to change a meaning of something like that for somebody. And like, you know, it just was really, really cool. He doesn't know about the book. I'm afraid to tell him about the book.
Are you? Yeah.
Well, he's just he's so humble. Like, I don't want him to say no.
Right.
Right. Like, or I don't want him to be behind. I want to give it to him. Like, I want to surprise him with it. And,
in a plastic bag.
And I'm gonna give it to him in a plastic bag.
Big Ziploc. Look what I made for you.
But you haven't told us the name of the book.
The name of the book is Be a Dick.
How to be a dick online, right?
And it's Be a Dick, the secret to dominating social media and saving the internet. And
I love it.
It's just, you know, and the interesting thing about, you know, we've been going back and forth with the cover with a lot of folks, and I've been kind of testing that with a lot of people. And the cover we're kind of ending up with, just working on colors, or at least as of right now, it's just in huge letters. It says "Don't be a dick," but the "don't" part is torn off the cover, and it's this whole paradigm shift of like just kind of what I love about, you know, redefining that word and making it a good thing, and which is really really interesting.
And redefining behavior, let's face it, online as well, because this is kind of a new crazy world on Google Plus as well. So I think the message is perfect timing. And guys, yeah, Mark's got, we didn't even talk about the SEH words, the search engine optimization. So I'm going to have him post a lot of his links too. And listen, we're running out of time. I'm just going to give a quick bumper. You're watching the Mia Connect Power Chat. I've got Lori Lejour, who's going to have to go watch be on Chef's show soon, right, darling?
Yes.
Mark Ensign. And next up, oh my God, wait till you start hearing about what Sandra Salem's up to, because I posted your story about you and your amazing story with your husband, and you are new to Google Plus, and you are speaking of rocking in the free world, you've come in and you're just diving in with both feet, aren't you, on Google Plus?
Absolutely.
All right, so and I know, right? And are you the envy? All your friends are like, what is she doing?
Oh, they don't even understand.
Yes.
I don't discuss it because my sisters don't understand it.
Right.
So I have some friends on the internet that I can discuss it with, but other than that, I say, well, you know Google Plus, and I get this glazed look on people's eyes.
It's not an age thing either.
I got on
Google
Plus. Oh yeah, well,
from young kids too, right?
I think I'm the oldest person on the internet. I know I'm the granny. I'm the only gray-haired old lady on the internet.
I'm going to go with #HotGranny. I'm sorry, I got to say it. So, all right, so you've been an artist for years.
Yes, what happened was I've been an artist for years, and as you can see, I'm older, and my friends were moving away. My friends were having hips replaced, knees replaced. And I was feeling like my life was narrowing and narrowing. And I've been on the internet, hey guys, since probably before you were born, 1985, when we used to do text chats. We didn't even have, we didn't even have anything. CNN was a big deal. So I even took a class in the internet. And they said, okay, this is a big deal. Look at CNN online. But so my life was I was feeling that it was very narrow. And as an artist, boy, you never get outside. You're just dedicated to your painting. And my paintings were taking me forever. And I was doing large and paintings anyway. So I decided I wanted to have a blog. And little did I know that I thought I was going to write about book reviews, movies I've seen, blogs that I enjoy reading, because my friends did not know what a blog was. They asked me if they needed to pay money to subscribe to my blog.
Did they have a hard time pronouncing it? Were they like blah, blah, blah?
Blah. They had no idea what I was talking about. And these people are my age, and they should, I consider myself very young. I know I may look old. I may be old, but I consider myself very young. So I wanted to educate everybody and bring them onto the internet. Well, I started writing and discovered, gee, I'm not going to tell people about blogs. I'm going to start talking about my life, which I never thought was interesting. But when I started telling people, what happened was I really started feeling the stories I'd never written before. And just as in painting, before I do a painting, I have to feel it. It's not just anything that, oh, pretty picture, I'm going to do that. I felt it inside, and I had stories that touched me, and so I started writing about them, and lo and behold, people were really interested, including my children, who said, you never told me that. And I said, but you never asked me. And so I have friends since grammar school saying, well, when did you do that? Well, I just never talk about myself. And the only place that I talked about myself was in my blog, because that was kind of what you did. And so it started getting interesting to people. And then I blogged, and then the gutsiest one, the one that people adore, is I was licked by wolves. I was kissed by, I'm not going to say licked by wolves, my God.
Bob Boss likes that one, though.
But I was kissed by wolves in the Sawtooth National Forest, and the wolves happened to have raw chicken breath on them, and they just really bossed me around. And people loved that story. And and I thought, I'm gonna out myself. I was afraid for people to know how old I was, because I thought, nobody wants to hear the granny story. They're not going to listen to me. They're not going to pay any attention to me if I tell them how old I was. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to tell them how old I am. And I said, I'm a 72-year-old blogger, and wrote the whole story of how I started blogging. And what has happened is that my world has so opened up. It started from, I kind of like to think of it as this little river. And it started here, and it's just expanding. And I know I'm supposed to have a goal, but I don't, because the river just keeps on going and getting larger and larger. Who even knew I'd be on Google Plus and having so much fun?
Who's got a crush on Sandra now? Everybody, come on. There you go. Seriously.
Everybody.
I love that, Eileen.
People have been so welcoming, so helpful, calling me up and wanting to help me, giving me their phone numbers. And of course I lost them because I couldn't understand even where to find them, to help
in the
me
messages.
On Google Plus.
Right.
I couldn't find them. And then I was leaving private messages in Hangouts, because I thought that's where you left a private message. I'm telling you, I was clueless. It was like I mentioned before, it was like having, what are those things? What do you wear?
The blinders?
Blindfold in a castle with many stories and many rooms. And I was in the middle of it, and boy, did I have to learn fast.
It's a labyrinth. Yes, Lori's shaking her head too, because you didn't have any references, Lori, when you started. So
well, I mean, I have been bringing people, like, instead of getting to know as many people on Google Plus as I can, I've been bringing people for the last year and a half. So in the beginning, I always have to tell them, well, this is what you do. You have to plus people. You have to do this.
Right.
Walk people through it.
Yes.
I've been active over at Julie Deneen's fabulous blogging, trying to help people, who are new and posting all these information, those infographics, and Peg Fitzpatrick and Rachel Radich, Rebecca
Radice. That's another girl crush for me. I'll just tell you right now.
Well, there's so much great information out there.
Yeah, they're both
taking
great.
Mark Cheverington, but watching Cheverington's YouTube video on circles, I realized how wrong I was, and
That's
trying
tough.
to help other people also. Where they would have circles according to how many people were in each circle, and I said no. So I'm just this far. Wait a second, there's the screen. So I'm just a tiny bit further ahead than they are. So I'm trying to bring people in. Trying to bring them over and helping.
That has been the commonality, I think, Sandra, is that a lot of people, they come in and then they kind of turn, they're like, ooh, let me help you with that too. Because you know how uncomfortable and confusing it feels, and then once you do get it, look how it's worked for you. And I have to go back to what you're saying about, coming out loud and proud with the age. I think it's fabulous because instead of like, ooh, somebody may not like me. And I have to tell you, because next week, I hit 1 year before 50. I'm going to be 49, and I have just been like, I call myself an old biddy or an old hen. I'm like, cluck, cluck, people. That's it. And I actually say something else, but it's really, really dirty.
It is really dirty.
It's really, really funny. It's MF. But it cracks me up. But I love it that I kind of felt the same way of like, this is what I am. This is what, my age is. And I think, I feel like for you, once you said that, you're probably like, whoo, let's go.
Yes, because suddenly that was a huge, that was posted on Blogger and was, I think, the most popular post. Suddenly I'm on Huffington Post.
I know. I love that.
And I was so honored. I was asked to post on 12 Most, all about how to rock it in your 70s. I mean, I'm the only one with gray hair in Beverly Hills. And it's a little scary. But if you do your gang sign, you're going to be just fine. Basically, I got it. They can do it so easy. It's West Side.
Yeah.
West Side gangster.
Scare them into liking you.
Yeah, and then wait a second. I got a line. Wait, I wrote it, Jason Fracas. You should know that I put it into Evernote. I've got a line. This is.
Oh yeah.
I'm just laid back. I'm just a laid back OG. Kicking it on the West Side.
We need to put a backbeat to that. That's awesome.
I had everybody at the hair salon. These are men.
Yeah.
That are telling me how to be an original gangsta.
Right.
And they're giving me lines. And they can't believe there's this.
You may want to find another hair place. We may never see you again.
I know, right?
I'm worried about you.
I mean, they just said, you're an original gangsta. Oh, okay.
I love it.
She's gonna look like what's her name in when she comes one of the pink ladies with the jacket. All of a sudden you're gonna come out. You're gonna be like at the end of the movie. She comes out in the leather jacket, like, what's up?
We're gonna see her on the news doing drive-bys.
She's gonna have the nicest smile on her face when she does it. Gangster Granny.
Yeah,
I am super excited to meet you too, because before I started Customized Walls, I worked in the fine art printing side for many years. Like, that's what I did most of my career.
Right.
Fine art printing, G-Clay, especially in your hood. I've got, printers out there, G-Clay printers.
I've got 2 G-Clay prints that I sell.
Oh, you do?
Yes, one of them is of a commission that I did for the Beverly Hills Hotel. And another is they've been very popular. But so G-Clays, that's right, I read about you.
I know the guy who made up the word. G-Clay.
So did I. Jack again.
Jacked again, exactly.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Yeah, I think these two are going to be making out in the post-green room.
I know.
And I'm going to take pictures.
And all of those guys, like Nash Editions. And,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know I know all of them.
Isn't that fun? Because that
I
many
used
people
to sell
know that at all.
Canvas to them.
You sell for them to print? Oh my God, look at that.
I can't help but feel very uncultured. I've been sitting here talking about dick, and they're talking about art.
Well, we actually know what's really
and I'm
important
saying cluck
to you,
cluck.
Mark.
And you're saying,
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
But actually, I'd like to make that dick.
That's right.
Sandra wants to be a dick, everybody.
Right.
Everybody wants to
I know, I'm an original gangster.
Exactly.
The West Side.
Well, then you have to start saying that at the hair salon, too. They're going to be like, what's she saying now? What's going on? Right?
Okay, Mark, I'm from the West Side, too, like the West Coast of Florida. They have that East Coast, West Coast thing.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah. It's on the golf site. Sandra, I'm gonna bring up a couple other things because I read this yesterday and was really nerding out. I've got a couple names I'm gonna bring up: Carol Burnett, Elizabeth Taylor, and Tom Selleck. Tell me that story.
Well, Carol Burnett has been. I haven't told the story yet, but Carol Burnett. My husband went to school with Carol. He's 10 years older than I am, guys. So I want you all to know that.
Yes.
They look at him and say, "My God, how young you are." They look at me. They never say that.
Damn it, son of a.
I know. This is what bugs me. So we went to Carol Burnett's her 52nd birthday, and I'm still we met with them many times, had dinner with them. She could not be warmer, more gracious, more giving. We had the best time, and one of the things we really connected to was that she went to UC. Maybe I'm getting off the subject, and I should be quiet.
No.
Okay,
go girl.
Okay, she went to UCLA thinking she was going to be a journalism major. I went to UCLA thinking I was going to be a English teacher, speech teacher. I became an artist, she became an entertainer, and we really connected on that. She's got a number, maybe she has more of my paintings than I have, but she's been a collector. That's a whole story how that happened. Because I didn't know her, I didn't know she was a collector, and her brother-in-law said, "My God, I know somebody who would love your paintings," and that's how that began. Anyway,
which I love. Hold on one second. We got to say goodbye to Lori because she's going over to Sheffy's show. So, darling, Sandra, hold on one second.
We'll talk, Lori.
Lori, what is your call to action in your Back Crab Crazy? I'm not letting you off the hook.
I'm actually Back Crab Crazy right now about Veronica Mars movie, which was just released.
There you go.
That crowdfunding thing. I did
like it.
And I stayed up till midnight and watched it last night.
That's my girl. We're such a two peas in the pod. I love it. And what do you want us to do? Where do you want us to find you, sweetheart?
I'll put all the links in, but they can definitely, circle me in. I'd love to meet new people and find us on the interiordesignCommunity.com.
Love it, girlfriend. Thank you. I'm going to head over to Chef show after that, too. So.
All right. See you later.
Bye, Chica.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, Sandra. Yeah, tell us. I mean,
Okay,
I'm loving that Carol Burnett's got all your artwork.
Yes, so I'll do a blog about that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're bending over saying, "Hi, Carol, congratulations." Out of the side of my eye, I see Elizabeth Taylor, and then I hear a voice behind me say, "Hey, Bob, remember me?" And I turn around into a tuxedo chest, and it's just the chest. And then I look up, and my God, it's the most gorgeous face I have ever seen. And my mouth I just go, and I was speechless. And my husband, of course, says, "Tom, so good to see you." And it turns out that my husband cast Tom in his first commercial. And, oh my God, you have to go to the site and look at this man showering.
I did look at the site. I have to tell you, it's a Safeguard commercial, which I'm old enough to remember, like that soap and like that, not that commercial, but I was like, look at that.
And my husband gave him the suit he was
Magnum
wearing, which was gorgeous. And Tom said, that I wore that, thank you so much for giving me that suit. I wore it for every interview I went on, and the commercial you put me in, the money from that kept me eating for years.
Isn't that
funny? And I just want to thank you for all you did for me.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I mean, how sweet number one, that he remembered, number two, that he's so gorgeous.
That's called eye candy. And then your reaction I also call nerding out, because I'm just like, oh, hey, what's going on?
It's rare that I do something like that. I can usually control myself.
Right.
But that face,
Right, right. What's your husband? Honey, put your tongue back in. Close your mouth, baby. Oh my gosh, and he seems like a very gracious person too.
My husband or Tom?
Well, both, by the way.
Yes.
Which you guys, please go read that story. Please go read Sandra's blogs because the one about being
The 53-year. We've been
yes.
married. Yeah. Wow. We've been married for 53 years.
I read it last night. I outed myself in the green room. I got a little teary-eyed reading it, and I posted it last night. It's beautiful. He's a hot little number two, by the way.
He is.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. The other one that I love too was a story about your mother coming from Russia.
That was so heartfelt.
Mm-hmm.
Think, this is America. My mother left Russia with rags on her feet. I then went to visit Russia 50 years later, but I left with a flute of champagne on the bow of a luxury liner.
The cruise ship, right?
Yeah, the cruise ship. I mean, but think of the dichotomy there of how my mother left and how I left. I must say, all the time I was in Russia, I was a little afraid that somebody would know and would arrest me. Ooh. I was I kind of was paranoid there.
A little paranoid. Well, then there's the fact that the Tsar juked your mom out of money, right?
Now this...
Seriously.
Yes. My mother was working for the Tsar. She was about 6 years old. She was working in a field, and she was promised a pound of salt if she would, after working for a week. But he never gave her the pound of salt. Now, how did I find out the story? Because I called up my mother while Princess Diana and Prince Charles were getting married. And I said, "Mother, isn't this exciting? I mean, they're getting married. Isn't it beautiful?" She said, "That family, I will have nothing to do with them." What are you talking about, Mother? Said, "They never gave me the pound of salt. And you know that those are cousins of the Tsar. I will not have anything to do with the royal family."
Were you just like, what are you talking about? Right. That's random, right? Oh my God, that's the history part. You gotta love it that you're now able, because you're writing too. Like, that's a story that would have sat and gone nowhere, right?
My sisters didn't know about it. I didn't realize it.
Right.
My sisters are still teasing me today, saying, "What do you mean she worked for the Tsar?" I said, "She worked for the Tsar, she told me."
Right. How come she didn't tell me? Because you didn't ask, right?
Right, exactly.
Oh my God, that's so random. I love it. You guys definitely please go. So Art from Ashes, that is where your artwork is. Now, is that where your blog?
No, it isn't at all.
Mm-hmm. It isn't. That's just where your shiny is, right?
No, it's apart from my art.
Apart from my art. I'm sorry, I don't think I was thinking Art from Ashes. Yes, exactly. Sorry, I had another one.
My art is at sandrasalin.com, but apart from my art is my stories.
I love that, and that is where I pulled that out of there too. Guys, we have gone a little bit over the hour because I told you it's interesting characters, did I not? And we delivered it too. So we didn't get to do the thing with Lori, but I am going to segue real quick. I always have a little bit of segue. Today it's going to be what's on. Usually I did what's on the bottom. What I would like to do is what's on your feet. So everybody, please show me what's on your feet. Hey. I got sandals on. Woo! Wait, let me see.
I just have socks on.
Oh, look at those janky socks! I love it. Yeah. Oh, look at Sandra. She's got us all beat with her style. Of course she does. Duh. Last week I made everybody.
Be happy. I'm usually naked from the waist down at these things. So.
Yeah. Well, then I'm glad I didn't do my usual segment, which is what's on the bottom, and that's where you have to stand up and see what you're wearing.
We're really grateful, Mark.
We don't mean it a bad way. Talk about being a dick. Anyway.
I don't blame you.
All right, you guys, we're going to get, and then we're going to wrap up. Mark, tell us what is your Bat Crap Crazy and what's your call to action?
Well, my call to action is obviously for everybody to be a dick, and please visit my blog, www.markensign, M-A-R-C, spelled the right way, ensign.com. And as far as my Bat Crap Crazy, I was thinking about this. I was going to go the Lego movie route because that was the greatest movie ever. But I just want to give kind of a shout out and a thank you. I've only been on Google Plus for since January, and I mean I spent most of my time on Twitter. Kind of can't stand Facebook like everybody else. And so there's just been this great group of people. Jason Fresco, Lee Dorsey, Mark Traphagen, Peg Fitzpatrick. Fitzgerald.
We all do it.
I know, I do it all the time. Christine DeGraff, Dave Old, Catherine, Jason, all these people that have just been so good to me and so amazing that made me feel so welcome. You, of course, and
thank you.
It really just made like I feel very blessed. I feel very thankful and grateful that I happen to show up on here and actually take it seriously and start to meet people. And so now as I get a little more my feet a little more planted in around here, I want to start being that person to everybody else. It's the same thing of just being there helping build that community. So I'm bat crap crazy about all you folks. That's it.
Yay! And there's a lot to be. You mentioned some good names too, so I'm loving it. You're paying it forward too with a lot of people. By the way, go look at the comments, Mark, because everybody's going nuts over your jelly jar you got going on there. So there's been a couple comments on there too. So Miss Sandra, what are you bat crap crazy about? What do you want us to do? Where do you want us to go?
I read. You're going to think this is. I read an obituary yesterday that has gone viral, and that was so funny. And he wanted to be remembered by people paying it forward by doing random kindness to other people. And I thought that was so touching to me that I feel the same way. Let's all do some random bit of kindness. Does that sound too? No? Okay.
No, because you segued it in with a cool story about somebody who had a great obituary.
Right.
I want an obituary that makes people laugh, and I know Mark does too.
Right.
That's it exactly. His is hysterical. I think his last name is Brule. And let's just pay it forward and do something, random kindness in his memory for such a fine man.
I love it.
Mark, I have the same feeling as you do. Although I think you're so far more advanced than I am, but I have to thank. I have to thank Julie Janine for getting me really going on the internet and on blogging, and for Christine DeGraff for asking people to pay it forward, and Peg Fitzpatrick and Lanny Sullivan.
So you almost did it too.
I got that.
Which, by the way, Laney does say, yes, love Sandra, hot granny, so she gives you a shout out on that one too. So, yay.
Yeah,
there's some kind people on here.
Giving and so paying it forward to me, and I thank you all.
I'm going to say too that I have to say that not to get into a big love fest, but I love them. It's a reflection of you guys. Not that all those folks, they're all so gracious and wonderful, but it's really easy to be nice and fun with you. So I'm just saying, so it's a reflection for sure. So guys, that's it for my show. I want to thank steadydemand.com. Go check them out, steadydemand/tool. Drink, everyone. Go and see them. And then my call to action is go to the miaconnect.com and sign up because I said so. That's all I got. That's my usual call to action. And my bat crap crazy is so random, but I started watching the show called The Real Husbands of Hollywood with Kevin Hart. It's on Netflix, and I thought I was going to die. It is so incredibly funny. So, and I even tweeted about it and nerded out. So I would love for Kevin Hart to let me put him in a little baby sling and carry him around. I think that would be fabulous. So that's my bat crap crazy today. It's random. You guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next week, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
That was really fun to see kind of what your backstory is, and you and I love that we have that similar of being in sort of the male, what could be the male-dominated industry, and then you came into Google Plus definitely when it was kind of vagina-free, right?
Yeah, it was, and when you first came on as a woman, like you were getting like instant message like crazy from creepers 24/7.
You said that. Yeah, you said that, right? Yeah.
Hey, girl. Actor.
Why do I feel like one of those creepers right now? There's like way too much estrogen in the room.
Which, and you do know that that's the one thing that says, oh, you just circled them, say hey. And so I kept thinking, like, why does everybody say hey? It's like, hey, girl. Like, oh, God. What? Right?
It's
so
those private messages and the automatic, trying to get you into a hangout and you don't even know the person.
Right. And if you're not used to Google Plus, didn't that freak you out?
Oh, absolutely. Because when you first come on, you don't understand that they can't actually see you, or you can't touch something and accidentally go online and you're now talking to some stranger from across the world. Yeah.
Right. Now, and the great thing, right, is that you can do that and you can be like, oh my gosh, I saw, right?
Yeah, but, it took a while to get when you first come on, you get bombarded by certain. I think it may even happen now. It hasn't happened for me in a while, but you get bombarded by those types of people first. They're like the first people who come over and chat with you, and so it's really kind of a scary, intimidating thing. And if you can start to like block the spammers and then really create a stream you like.
That's the key, right?
That's the key, right? Like following all the people that you really want to see their stuff. And that's kind of one of the reasons why we have, for the interior design community, an elite circle, so that I can share it, and then people can, just grab it, and then they're automatically seeing awesome home stuff. Really high design, cool, architectural stuff, like really neat stuff.
So it's almost like the difference between going to like a networking event where you're just going to be open and unless you choose it to be industry specific. So that's the regular stream when you have that. And then you can get in with your besties, right?
Yeah.
And have that group of people that are truly vested in what you do. Talk about a time saver too.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we were talking about that the other day, that you can have these like networking groups locally.
Yes.
And you have to drive, and you have to get in your car, and you go there.
You got to put a face on this thing.
And then when you get there, especially if I'm ready now.
All right, so tell us who you are real quickly and where you're out of, darling.
I own a company called Customized Walls. We make custom printed murals and wallpaper. And then I started a community on Google Plus about a year and a half ago for interior design business people. So we all talk about the cool tips and tricks to market your business online.
You guys, and she is a groundbreaker for sure. She was here. What did I say in the trailer? Long before I got here. So we're gonna pick her brain on getting communities to work and niching down, because you came in, Lori, and who's gonna follow interior design, right?
Yeah.
And made it a huge success. So, and where are you out of, sweetheart?
I'm in New Hampshire. So
Yay.
Cold.
Yay. Still over it, right?
Yes.
Hated it. All right, dear. Thank you for coming on the show. We're going to get back to you in a second. And then I've got my brother, Mark Ensign. Hello, dear.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. And for those of you, I don't know if you heard my description, I put this in the show with David and Christine. I said, Mark Ensign is me with dark hair and boy parts. Because I love your sense of humor. So tell us about you real quick, what you do and where you're out of.
Not my boy part. You don't need to hear about my boy parts, right?
No, but I know we're going to be using another word that's going to be so get ready for it, people. There might be earmuffs for some of the kids in the audience.
Look at that. I got a reputation already.
You do. Well, join me in that.
Let's see. My name is Mark Ensign, and I have a blog, markensign.com. And let's see. I'm a blogger, speaker, author, kind of all-around do-gooder, and I started out in internet marketing with a website and SEO company that's been around for about 13 years, and that's about it.
That's not not it, but I like it.
Well, she kept it pretty short. I don't want to talk your face off for the next 10 minutes.
Nope.
Time for that.
I'm getting the crowd warmed up for you. I'm like, that's not it. We're going to get into it. And finally, we have the fabulous and mighty. Somebody described you that as the other day, and I was like, I like that a lot. It was pretty good. I can't remember. It might be the gal that you went on her show.
Deneen.
Julie Deneen, yes. And hey, Julie, let's give her a little shout out. She and her husband. Hey, girl. So welcome to the show. I'm going to give you a trumpet. You like that? Miss Sandra Sellen, tell us what you do and where you're out of.
Okay, I'm out of sunny California. I hate to tell you. It's
Rub it in.
Really bright outside, really sunny. I think it's going to be 86 this weekend. I know. But we really would like some rain. But, so what would you call it? I'm an artist, famous artist turned blogger. Thinking, well, we'll get into the details. Yeah. And now I'm also an OG. I just discovered that.
What's an OG?
Wait a second. I'm going to show you.
It's a rap thing, isn't it?
No.
That looks like it.
I'm a West Side OG. It means I'm an original gangsta.
That is a rap thing. You called it, Mark.
All right.
I love it.
That really needs to be screenshotted. We have Irene Brody, by the way, who's in the back room being the wool man, and she's going to make that into a little clip for sure. Who told you that? I love that. That's spicy.
Well, here I'm going to get my hair cut in Beverly Hills. Now, one would think it's not a foofy kind of place, but it's a cool kind of place. And I walk in there, I'm getting my hair cut, and I said, does anybody know what a gangsta is? Everybody turns around. They all know. They all give me the sign, you know, and saying, you're not just a gangsta, you're an original gangsta. And they gave me words. You'll hear it. I'm now an OG, guys.
Oh my God, I did not expect that one.
Both hands.
Right.
But it's like I can't, but I try. And this means I'm from the West Side.
Girl, I love it. I'm going to stop the show right now. Who's going to top that, you guys?
I'm not.
Oh my God, that is fabulous. And is that some of your artwork in the back, sweetie?
No.
That beautiful picture, because that is fabulous. Though.
I'm trying to see. No, that is a fabulous print by Jan van Huysum. He's an early Netherlandish artist. We were going to get my paintings. We don't have it all together. I just got a lot of bandwidth. I got a new modem to handle the new bandwidth. Mm-hmm. So we're still working on it.
Listen, honey, it takes a village.
No kidding.
That's what I say about getting ready. It takes like levers and pulleys and little men in the background doing stuff. So
and then I try and explain it to my friends. But do you think my friends know what more bandwidth means, or that getting the new modem, or that you have to get the earphones and the stuff?
They all think you've gone to the dark side, don't they?
Yeah, nobody's seen me in weeks.
I bet. And guys, is that not? Let's just tell Sandra I'd like to get used to it with being part of Google Plus, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And with that, actually, I'm going to jump in because I was keeping everybody on their toes in the green room and Sandra, what did you say? You're like, that builds the momentum. I didn't, the build attention, that's right. I wasn't going to tell them who's going to come on first, but I think I'm going to choose Lori because, honey, you are one of the first to market here on Google Plus, so you can fill in Sandra about how she's going to have to go for a prevention, an intervention of like, get off the computer, honey.
That's my husband.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Could I please see something other than your head bent down over a computer?
Busted.
Well, the problem is now you can take it everywhere, right? So you've got it on your phone, your tablet, your computer.
Mr. Jingles up in your face.
24/7.
Exactly. Jinx. That's an old school. Can I just tell everybody out there in the audience, we had two things that we've decided. Now there's two things we want to dust off. One is 2 for flinching, for those of you who don't remember. 2 for flinching is when you come up and you do this, and then somebody flinches, and then you get to hit them twice. Let's dust that off in all kinds of different arenas. And then I think what I just say, Jinx. We need to bring Jinx back as well. So.
Oh yeah, love
Can you
Jinx.
say something? Yeah.
Jinx is already rampant in my house. Are you kidding me?
We do it in our house too.
Wait, you guys have young kids. What am I saying?
Right.
I don't know what it means.
You guys tell her what Jinx means.
You mean you jinx somebody?
Yeah, it's when you both say something at the same time, and then you say Jinx, and then you say like Jinx, you owe me a Coke or something like that.
Exactly. Okay. There's always little things to it. It can be colloquial. It depends on or where you're from, but I'd say Jinx, owe me a Coke was the biggest one too. So.
No,
right, and then they can't until you say their name. Right? Do you do that? Like they can't speak until you say their name.
That's the thing.
That's what we love.
You just have to quiet. My daughter hasn't talked for 3.5 months.
She carries a sign around her neck.
Please, somebody tell my name.
Is she the youngest?
No, she's the older.
Oh no! So she just there's always that weak one in the pack.
She's actually the middle child if you include me.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
My wife is a single mother of 3.
Right. One of them, how tall are you? What, 6 foot something? One's about 6 foot something. So
exactly.
I love it. Oh yeah, dusting off Jinx for me because Bob Voss, I don't meow at the same time that Bob does, so we don't have that as much. But all right, listen, Lori. Enough about us. Let's talk about you, girlfriend. I watched the David Oldenburg. Or David Leopold, darling. Sorry, there's so many good Davids in my life. The Dreaming with Entrepreneurs show. That's right. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I am Mia Voss, and you're watching the Mia Connect Power Chat. I'm having fun with my Google Toolbox, my Hangout Toolbox, the effects. I'm going to not keep these on all the time, but I thought it went well with the tiara and also goes with the kooky theme we've got going on today, which quite frankly is interesting characters. I've got 3 of them. You've probably seen a couple of them around on the internet, so it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Now you can see me. So we're going to get started here. First, I want to thank our show sponsor, which is steadydemand.com. If you are looking to figure out how to go through your Google Analytics, post the right stuff, maybe get a little shamed if you don't post it right because they're going to tell you, go to steadydemand.com/tool. Everybody drink, because when I say tool, you drink. If anybody's watched my show before, everybody drink. You ready? Me and my juice and my bat crap crazy wine glass. And thank you to Bethan and her team for getting that for me. So if you'd like to get some really great Google Analytics, go to steadydemand.com/tool. And with that, I'm going to pull in, before I introduce my panel, I'm going to pull in some comments because we've got a lot of them fixing to go right up in here. So, hi, Stephen Futural. I love him. Watching on his iPhone, better pull over first. And also, he's actually gotten in trouble for watching shows and not hanging up his phone. So, try not to get kicked out of court there. Hi, Kim Boltman. She's being old enough to remember or witness the evolution of the Rat Pack and the Brat Pack. She loves the concept of the Bat Pack, fun, forward thinking. And just so you guys know, this was part of Mark Traphagen last week. He called it the Bat Cave. So everybody who's out in the audience, you are now officially sitting in the Bat Cave. I hope you're enjoying one another. And for the in the audience, you are the Bat Pack. So welcome to the show, everybody. We're excited. We've also got Jake Luke. Hey, brother, it's going to be bat crap crazy. Yes, it is. And David Leopold. The only things that keeps him away from my HOA production is personal time conflict that can be resolved favorably. Michael Mason, what's the reach, by the way? The Mia and Christine's New Year's Day show had a documented reach of just about 30 million. Holla! That's their new toy, by the way. Get used to it. Lori and I are going to be checking that out on, aren't we, Lori?
Yes.
For our shows. I'm digging that too. So with that, I'm going to talk and introduce, because I've got you blue box, I've got my girl, Lori Lejour, who, by the way, is going to be an HOA ho today. Are you not, darling? How many shows are you going to be on today?
I'm on your show, I'm on Chef's show, and then I have my own at 4. So.
Yes, you do. I'm going to give